Matching hundreds.
Okay, Coach, thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved his consistency throughout the season. Always good, occasionally spectacular. But right now, he's on the outside of that MVP race. What's it going to take for him to get it done down the stretch?
You're right, on the fringe. But, hey, it's Week 14. There's still a month left for him to make a lasting impression, have some scintillating plays, and then who knows?
Yeah, those scintillating plays, those splash plays, those plays we'll talk about for the next week leading up to the next game, he'll need a bunch of those down the stretch in order to win the award. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things off.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 31. On third down. It's back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. This one from 46 yards out. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Geis, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The throw over the middle, taken in. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit. On
third down, Bailey. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. On 3rd down, it's back, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. This offense, #1 in the NFL in picking up first downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards the pickup there. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick, it is right there. It's good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Bailey to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Now Bailey to throw on 3rd down. Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 34. Here's Bailey operating from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a give, right side, it's Geis. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A look at the numbers for Geis a week ago. 16 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
11 touchdowns on the ground this season, and the pride really extends throughout the entire offense. And in this case, I'm focusing on the offensive line. The leverage, the ability to get downfield, make that extra block in order to give him more space to run. They really look forward to him carrying the football because they're going to get him to the end zone.
Back to throw is Bailey. To throw on 2nd down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point up and through, and they take the lead here at 7-6. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. As this unit comes back out there, let's focus in on Darius Geis. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On first down, this is Geis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Bailey now throwing on 3rd and long. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing.
And look at this. It's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So what a call there. They get 9 on the fake punt and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll run on 1st down. Back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Beck. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 3rd field goal of the 1st half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Bailey. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Bailey. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Green Bay. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now Watson.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. On first down, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there, and if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Watson now 9 of 17 through the air. From the red zone now, Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run this one in, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Broncos have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 2. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Bailey from the gun. He'll throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 2nd and 4. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And with that, they'll take a 1-point lead here in the second.
So a little late drama in the first half as that kick will give them the lead into intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on the board, and we go into the half with a new leader.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. 35-13, the final score. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now Bailey operating from the gun. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's Bailey looking to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 31-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a run with Geis. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. 2nd and 13. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw. Bailey.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is good. And they add on and get a little bit of a cushion. It's 20-16 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. Back to throw is Bailey. Off the play fake. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Bailey. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Bailey now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And coming out now, the Broncos. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
On the ground, it's Geis. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Bailey to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Bailey from the gun, he'll throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next? In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Broncos on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Taken right around the 44. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. This is Geis. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Geis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Geis again. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again is Watson.
And that is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now under pressure now. Watson, and down he goes. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line. Here's Bailey on 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run with Geis. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. With that run, Charles, he passed Hall of Famer Curtis Martin for 5th all-time, over 14,100 yards rushing. I'm not sure what more he can accomplish.
Well, in his mind, he thinks he can continue on and get up to number 1 on the all-time rushing list. But you're exactly right. What a career and what accomplishments. And to pass Curtis Martin, who is known by his Hall of Fame coach with the Jets and the Patriots as Wonder Boy, but that's a big-time deal. So if you're passing a guy that they called Wonder Boy, you're a heck of a player.
Looking to throw. Bailey. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Watson on 1st down. Got a man on the right sideline. It's Ellis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. To throw again. Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. To throw is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schwartz. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw is Watson. Going to throw again. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and a couple, Watson.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They'll try and run for it. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Geis. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll hand it out to Geis, and he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll throw again from their own end zone. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schwartz. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Watson now to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Watson now throwing again.
And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. One last throw here for Watson. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Packers, they'll hit double digits with their 10th win of the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's their very first clunker of the year as they'll fall to 12-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.